Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a tag video, and this is actually a tag that I already filmed, but then this happened. I don't know how it happened, I didn't know how to fix it, and in the end I had to erase a whole bunch of footage. So now here we are, and I'm doing this again. But anyway, today's video is going to be the intimidating book tag, and I can actually say that I was tagged for this one because Kate from Girl Reading actually tagged her originally in my video, but then she beat me to posting the video. So you know what, it actually worked out because now I can actually say that I was tagged in a video. I'm actually doing a tag video that I was tagged in, guys. Very exciting for me. This tag was originally created by Lindsay Ray, and I will have her original video linked down below for you guys, as well as Kate's, so you guys can go and check them out. Let's do this. So the first question is, what book have you been unable to finish? This one, I have like my stack of books here, by the way, so let me move stuff around here. So this one was pretty easy for me. I had picked Truthwitch by Susan Dennard. You guys know the story of this. I'm having a really difficult time getting through it. I am determined to finish it still, but I have actually put it on hold because I realize now, like with 100% certainty, that this was the book that was putting me in a reading slump, because since I have put it on hold, I have been doing a lot more reading recently. I'm still determined to finish this, but just for now, I can't do it. So it's on hold for, I don't know how long it'll be on hold for. What book have you yet to read because you just haven't had the time? This is easy for me. It is In the Afterlife by Alexandra Bracken. This is the third and final book in the Darkest Minds trilogy. You guys know I love the Darkest Minds. It is partially because I just haven't had the time, because this is a pretty big book. Also, there's the fact that I just don't want to say goodbye to these characters. Plus, I don't know if this is something that happens to you guys as well, but for me, if I really love a book, it usually falls within two categories, and these are things that I'll end up doing, which is if I really love a book, for the last book in the series, I'll either want to jump on it as fast as I possibly can and just finish the whole thing, or I put it off because I don't want to say goodbye to the characters. And for this book, I mean, it's the second option. I keep putting it off because I don't want to say goodbye to these amazing characters and this story, but I really need to soon because I want to finish. I do really want to finish the series off, and I have heard really good things about the way it ends. Plus, I also want to read Passenger by Alexandra Bracken, which is her newest release. My babies. It's time to say goodbye to my babies. What book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? This was very easy for me to choose. Ice Like Fire by Sarah Rash. You guys know I absolutely loved the first book in this trilogy. It was in my favorites from 2014, I think it was. I actually pre-ordered this. I was super excited to read it, but then I came to the realization, as I sometimes do, that if I read this right away, I would have to wait a whole nother year for the last book in the series. So I've been putting it off till a little bit closer towards the release of the last book, mostly because of that, because I did really love the first book. If you haven't read it, I really recommend it. It's so good. I will read this, but it's definitely going to be a little closer to the release date for the last book. What book have you yet to read because it's brand new? I decided to go with Wink Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Tulhoki. I actually picked this up recently when I went to the Penguin Teens on Tour event a little while ago that I told you guys about in my last video, which was from a while ago. I've been having a lot of technical difficulties, guys. I actually signed my book and she was super lovely. I really liked her. Plus, this book, guys, I think this has become my favorite book cover of all time. The typography, like all the little details in there, the color scheme, it's just such a beautiful book. But I haven't read it yet because it's relatively new, so I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet, but it's beautiful and it's just look at it. What book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? This one's gonna be a little bit controversial, but I picked City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. I liked City of Bones. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It kept me interested enough to want to read the rest of the series when, you know, once I finished it, except with the exception of that cliffhanger thing. it still bothers me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but I spoiled myself for that just because I was really disturbed and I needed to know. But anyway, other than that, I mean, I enjoyed it enough, but I didn't feel compelled to marathon the whole rest of the series, if that makes sense. I enjoyed it, but it's not, yeah, it's just not. I definitely want to give it until at least the third book for this series. But that's mostly because I really want to read The Infernal Devices, and I promised my best friend that I would read The Infernal Devices this year. So what is the thing? I was gonna say something, but I don't know how to translate that. Like, I'm reading this con maña because I want to get something more out of it. I don't know. If you speak Spanish, then you might know what I'm talking about. What book have you yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is the second book in the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy. I actually really loved Daughter Smoke and Bone, but it's definitely a book that I feel like I have to be in a certain mood to read, even though I am very excited to get through it. Plus, it is pretty big. A book you have yet to read because it's humongous. This is actually not the biggest book that I own, but its length is one of the reasons why I haven't really finished it, because I did start reading it. I'll get into that in a bit. It is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. I took this with me on vacation when I went to Mexico, but because I was with family, I just didn't get a chance to read it. Really, I had no time to read, just based on like what I've heard other people say about this series. There's people that I definitely really trust, that I have very similar tastes to, that completely adore Brandon Sanderson, so I know I'm gonna enjoy this when I get around to it. It's big, and I know that it's going to take some commitment on my part, and right now I have a lot of other little things that I'm trying to do, and this is definitely a book that if I do start reading it, I want it to be like, I want to be focused in it, and I want to be focused in the story and what's going on and the world. So I haven't read it yet, but soon, hopefully. I'm saying that for all these books. I want to read them all soon. I don't know if it's gonna happen soon, but I definitely do want to do it soon. A book they have yet to read because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews. Control by Lydia Kang. I actually bought this when it was released because of BookTube, and I have yet to really hear much of it, and the few things that I have heard of it are kind of meh. I'm actually considering unhauling it, to be honest. So if you have read this, please let me know what you thought of it, because like I said, I haven't really heard many things, and the few things that I have heard are kind of just... And then last but certainly not least, what is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? I'm cheating with this one because it is 3 books that I have been putting off because of a multitude of reasons. It is Throne of Glass. I have The Assassin's Blade here, which is the bind-up of all the Throne of Glass novellas, Heir of Fire, which is the 3rd book, and Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th book in the series. And I have put these off because they're freaking huge, okay? Can we just, like, Queen of Shadows, like, seriously? It's humongous. Guys, these books are just huge and scary. And even though I love, ooh, it's a lot. Like, it's just a lot. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to read these soon though, because I'm going to meet Sarah J Maas. I have 2 weeks to read these. That's doable. Plus the Raven Cycle. That's totally doable. Okay, so those are all the questions for the intimidating book tag. That is going to be it for this video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys. Today's video is going to be my monthly wrap-up video, and I actually only read 4 books this month.